Okay, my fellow Americans, today's date is September 6th, 2017, and my name is Elsie Williams. I live in La Jolla, California, which is located in San Diego County in California. Now, I said California. Now, pay close attention to my statements. I'm literally going to have to talk fast in this video because I'm running behind schedule. I got a lot to do today, a lot of physical running around, a lot of physical errands, and I'm already running behind schedule. So, pay close attention to my statement. Now, before I proceed and unpack the subject matter, understand, if you're confused pertaining to why I'm making these predictions, okay, and if you don't know anything about gang stalking, the only thing I can do is tell you to go into this account and extensively research every video that you can. Because if I have to go and regurgitate why I'm making these statements and predictions, then it's going to take me a lot longer to get out of, to get started with my day. So, the predictions are being made for security and strategic purposes as a result of me being subject to gang stalking methods every day, everywhere I go. Which you can go to YouTube and type in gang stalking bullying on steroids, which is a news broadcast, one of many. Okay, so you can see that victim is literally stating on the news that he's harassed everywhere he goes, including at his own home. Hold on a minute. Now, you can type in the name of any 10 well-known businesses in America that you know of to Google, and then type in gang stalking to each one, and then do it to another 10 if you feel inclined, and look at what comes up, and look at how many Google generated responses come up. And this also means the specific types of businesses like grocery stores, coffee shops, laundromats, restaurants, and even libraries. Hold on. Now today I'm going to the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf, Vons Grocery Store, and a laundromat. All three are located within the same exact plaza off of Governor Road and Genesee Avenue in University City. University City is located physically directly adjacent to the physical neighborhood of La Jolla. Okay, so we're going to see if any event transpires towards me, especially at these three. Absolutely. Now, we're also going to see if the Wi-Fi connections are not available at the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf, and if they're not, then I'll have to go to the library. Now, pay close attention to my statements, okay? Let's also see if I experience any computer damage, any property theft, including any type of damage to my bike, any function of my bike, any part of my bike, and or bike lock, and or the theft of my bike. Okay, just bear with me. Now, we're going to see if any event transpires at any place that I'm at today. Okay, walking routes, bus stops, bus routes, MTS, absolutely, okay? Any business I go in today in reference to accusations of any kind, complaints of any kind, with or without witnesses, any type of event that unfolds towards me, with or without witnesses, okay, that causes me to be ticketed, arrested, banned, okay, or assaulted, or whatever. Any type of physical altercation. Because these filthy, sick, demented, criminally insane animals will literally try to suck you into any staged dramatization that they can. And when they stage events, they absolutely and literally will stage the witnesses, and they'll use anybody, any type of person of any age for the event and as the witnesses. Now let me give you just a close, fast example of this as well. If you've been paying attention to some of the craziness that's been going on in this country in the past, I don't know, few years, we can, if you're educated, you'll clearly be able to deduce, like, and you can even Google my statements, like Antifa. Okay, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of Americans that don't know that there's a lot of groups out there that are being hired, people that are being hired to participate in protests, to participate in illegal behavior within protest. Okay, there's even companies out there that are literally hiring people to participate in protest. I've seen on my fellow targeted individuals' blogs where they have discovered companies that are hiring people to engage in activities out in the public. Okay, so I think one of them is called Hire a Crowd or something like that. That was even marginally exposed, I think, on Fox News. Okay, so you can always go to Google and type in a gang stalking tech, everything you need to know. It's a documentation file written by a manager of gang stalking crews, but it's not everything you need to know. But it does give you a good preliminary preface in reference to some of the things that they do. You clearly see the person who wrote that manifesto clearly states that they're part of the syndicate. It's organized crime. Okay, it's called the Scripting and Execution Bureau. The syndicate, it's a nationwide syndicate, is what it is in the system. And the syndicate itself as a whole is compartmentalized, sectioned into specific bureaus, like the Bureau of Technology, the Bureau of Travel. The person who wrote the documentation file clearly states that their part, okay, in reference to what they do for the syndicate, is scripting and execution. Now, scripting means where they will literally sit down and write out a script, just like a Hollywood screenwriter will do, pertaining to a movie. They'll sit down and write out a script. The individuals that play a role in that are called playwrights. They write out what's going to be played out, okay? And then the execution of that means where they will execute what they write out to play out. And then she goes on to also talk about spions. Spions are the people that assist in engaging in the covert surveillance, more than likely aspects of the tracking of the target, and the observation pertaining to how the target is handling the harassment, the staged events, okay, every part of the staged event. They can see the target might be starting to get anxious during a staged event. They will literally get on their phone and text message more people to come into the store to participate in what they want to bring about against the target. I've seen them in action, literally seen them in action, physically seen them in action. Now, and you got to also look at, when you look at and research this crime on the internet, you're going to see tens of thousands of people all over this country exposing this crime as a result of being victimized because of it. Absolutely. It's the biggest crime exposed on the internet. And you're going to see every one of them clearly stating that people are getting along their routes and at businesses and so on, including libraries, and harassing them in clever ways, usually through sensitization techniques. Now, I want you to think about this. If they got people to do this in reference to harassing a target, whether it be overtly and or directly, do you honestly think that they do not have people that will participate in a staged event when staged events are part of gang stalking crimes? Now, the business community is absolutely and completely also brought on board in these campaigns, and they can also be responsible parties for perpetrating the entire crime that is happening to a victim. Okay, it's organized crime in the system. Okay, but they are working in covert partnering relationships with many other entities. It's a syndicate, meaning that they're syndicated members out within the community, including businesses, universities, schools, libraries. Oh my God, Google what I'm saying. So, what I do, Google the police and gang stalking, and they're lying criminal asses. Oh, absolutely. I strongly suggest you do that. Why do you think victims are trapped in this crime? Because of the police, the courts. Okay, and the prosecutors. Sorry, I heard something. I thought it was Okay, I think somebody might be in the property, so if there is, let's see if they bottom there. Accuse me of anything. So let's see if I get banned from any place I go to today. Laundromat, grocery store, library, coffee bean, tea. Let's see if I'm assaulted, harassed about anything or anything. Assaulted, robbed, harassed, ticketed, arrested. Let's see if any negative thing happens concerning me, about me, around me, towards me, or against me as a direct result of being a victim of this crime, which the police will absolutely lie and claim that I'm not a victim of it. Absolutely. And every place that participates in this crime will deny that it's happening to you. They'll deny that they're involved in it. They'll call you crazy concerning it, which is a method of gang stalking. Now, also, if anybody approaches me on this property while I'm still on it, I don't care who they are, property owners, neighbors, police, homeless people, social deviants, punks, and criminals, because you got to understand, if they'll gang stalk you to your home and along your routes, do you honestly think they will not subject you to these criminal realities while denying every bit of it, okay, to wooded areas as well? Okay, that was a bird I heard. He's right over here kicking up some leaves looking for food. So what we got to understand here, fellow American citizens, is that gang stalking is not stalking by gangs. It is a crime that operates on a template of protocols, methods, tactics, maneuvers. All of it is brought about against the target as a result of illegal GPS tracking and covert physical surveillance. The individuals that are partnering with the police, the business community, you got to use your common sense, okay? When you look at how many Google-generated responses come up to gang stalking and police, organized stalking and police, when you type that in at Google, use your common sense. Absolutely. Hold on. Then look at how many responses come up when you type in universities and gang stalking, libraries and gang stalking, grocery stores and gang stalking, coffee shops and gang stalking. Look at what comes up. You'll be able to see as a result of what comes up. You might think to yourself, well, how could all this be happening where all these different places and employment descriptions are involved in it, and then how the community citizens can be brought on board in it? Because of the way gang stalking operates. That's why it's imperative for you to research the YouTube video, listen to a stranger. Absolutely. There are many mechanisms involved in gang stalking. It's an extremely interesting crime. It's very hard to prove. So one of the things that I do is wear a running recording tape recorder on me at all times. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with it at all. It's got full powered batteries on it. It's got over 200 hours of free memory in it. Okay? I also got a video camera. But let me tell you another thing these little wild animals will do. They'll literally accuse you of doing things that you're not, that they're actually doing. Literally. That is literally the audacity of these demented animals. And that absolutely includes management of stores, security guards of stores, business owners of stores, like the laundromat. Last time I was there, I was clearly talking just plain as day like I am right now, and the individual accused me of talking too loud. Okay, because what they want to start doing is start accusing you of things, and then the next visit when you come in, they'll accuse you of either that again or another thing, and then they'll start saying, well, maybe we think it's best that you don't come back. Or they'll get another person in there, including people being in there before you arrive, because you know another thing that they do is through the tracking of you, they learn your routes, routines, your habits, where you go to do your shopping at, where you go to coffee shops at, where you go to libraries at. The bus transportation routes you take to get to these regularly visited places. And so what they'll even do is prop up people to be there before you arrive as a result of the in real time, meaning the present time tracking of you. Like, for instance, say if a person regularly takes those 2 specific bus routes to get to a laundromat that they've been going to for the last year. Well, through the in real time tracking of you on those dates, they catalog your routes and routines and your habits, the places you go to. That way, when you go there next, and if they have the motive for that day to stage an event at these places, what they'll do is prop people up to be there before you arrive. That way, the police and their demented criminal asses can easily say, well, how can they be stalking you, Leslie, when they were there before you got there? And everybody's saying that you're responsible for this event, the person's involved in it, and the stage witnesses, and then you got the management and employees to see how it all works together. Now, business is the only thing they care about, okay, is protecting their bottom line. The security guards of the business plazas, they're paid for and owned by, okay, a pool of money that is paid to that pool through the businesses and the individual who owns the land the businesses are on. And at the end of the day, they're worried about civil liability and criminal liability. So they will participate in this crime in order to protect themselves by blaming the target for the event so they can produce falsified documentation through the police, okay, through their security firm. So if the target ever does sue them, they can say, well, we don't know what she's talking about. We don't know nothing about this gang stalking thing. She must be crazy, which is a method of gang stalking. Literally, Google that, okay? So you can take every description I've stated in this video, like libraries and gang stalking, security guards and gang stalking, grocery stores and gang stalking, coffee shops, and so on, and type it in at Google and look at what comes up. And then do it to 5 different states so you can see how prevalent this is, okay? It is a campaign, okay? It is a crime just like identity theft is the name of a crime. It's the name of a crime, okay? And it operates by and through, but not limited to, a template, okay? A conglomeration of methods, tactics, techniques, maneuvers, covert surveillance, illegal tracking, and employment descriptions. So do what I tell you to do if you feel inclined to research this criminal reality in reference to how to research it, and you will see truth, okay? Think to yourself this, and then I gotta go. excuse me, when you see how many responses come up alone to two things, three, universities and gang stalking, okay, libraries and gang stalking, and grocery stores and gang stalking. Now I want you to think about that. Universities are not always a state oversighted. They're not, all universities are not tax subsidized universities and colleges. Some of them are privately owned. Like I was gang stalked at USD. That's privately owned. So how can, like, say when you got a university system that is tax subsidized, means that it's run by the state, because the taxes from the community goes towards the functions of those universities. The taxes from the community go towards to run the universities. Those are state and county run universities like UCSD and SDSU. But how could USD, which is privately owned, be brought on board? Because the government and corporations, and a private university is a corporation. It's run just like one. But gang stalking is also a campaign that is run by and through the federal government, okay, which is a campaign run by them using state, county, and local municipalities to achieve their objectives, while also the same tentacles of the same crime are also incorporated within corporations, private institutions, and so on. That's why it's so interesting to figure out how could all this be going on? Absolutely. And you'll see this by following my instructions pertaining to my statements. Absolutely. Okay? So the goal in this crime, for them at the end of the day is exploitation, human trafficking, hundreds of criminal motivations, okay, that they're involved in. Absolutely. And they will protect their image. They will protect any place that's used for it, including public transportation services, okay? They will protect it all because they know at the end of the day, and I'm referring to they as being the ones who are managing this in the system, they know they're engaging in conspiracy, collusion, solicitation, and much more. All of these are felonies to the extreme. Criminal felony harassment, okay? Falsifying police reports, these are all felonies. Absolutely. Falsely arresting a target after a staged event is a felony. And they know it. So what they got to do is prop up what they do to make it appear that it's happening through normal apparent excuses, reasons, and mishaps. And when you got a staged event going on, okay, and the target's acting out verbally as a result of sticking up for themselves, and then you got the manager, the employees, and or people acting as customers who are part of the event, and then the staged witnesses, everybody is told to point the finger at the target. That way the police can say, well, we don't know what gang stalking is. We have no idea what it is. And everybody's saying that you're the problem. And look at how hyper you're acting and how inanimated you're you're acting. So we have no other choice but to think that you're the problem. When they're coming to that event as a result of being called by whoever is nothing but part of the event. Absolutely. Everybody plays their role. Got to get San Diego, California. So I got to go do laundry today. I got to go, let's see if any of the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf, let's see if their internet service is not up and running. And if it's not, let's see if my tape recorder picks up anybody saying, yeah, I've tried to sign in 7 times, 8 times, 9 times, and I can't. It's really sad. And I'm not going to go there concerning the reason why I'm saying that. Just trust me. That's the only thing I can say. But the point being is that what you got to understand is that the individuals that run this campaign know I wear a tape recorder. When they bring about crimes against you, including, let me just give you another example. Say if you're at a grocery store and they stage an event towards you, and then they ban you because of it, including being banned from the entire plaza, okay? Or if they ban you after staging an event in a laundromat, they know that you got to eat. And they also know that you're going to have to do your laundry, okay? When you go do your laundry. As a result of you being banned, you then have to pick another place, possibly even in another neighborhood, possibly even in a worse neighborhood. Do you understand? And that is the goal, to take you to these other communities because they know that you don't have any evidence yet pertaining to you being gang stalked in that community, which assists them in their plausible deniability. So when they stage events in these communities, the police can say, well, okay, well, you say you were gang stalked at this other place, but now you're saying you're being gang stalked to this place. Where's your evidence at? You understand? You understand? Because they want to be able to walk away, leaving the target with no evidence, while they get to apply any and every excuse they can to what they do. Absolutely. Okay. concerning that staged event that occurs towards you in a place that you're visiting for the first time as a result of you having to go there for the first time as a result of you being banned from the previous place. You see how this shit works? It's an extremely interesting crime. What you got to understand is that gang stalking is a forward thinking where they think 10 steps down the road. This is what they say to themselves, this is what we want to bring about. This is how we're going to bring it about. And this is when we're going to bring it about as a result of them knowing where the target's at in real time. Okay? And that's how they stage their events. Now, if they stage an event at a place that they know the target's already got massive evidence, the police officer will just act like, well, we don't know what gang stalking is. Everybody's saying you're the problem for the event. We can't stand here and put up with this nonsense no longer. We got a call we got to go to. And this is done so they don't give the target any time to show them proof. They already did that to me on several occasions. Absolutely. So, my fellow American citizens, I'm going to the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf today on Governor Road and Genesee Avenue. I may go to Vons or Rite Aid. I'm also going to go to the laundromat. If that laundromat is closed, I'll have to go to another one, probably taking bus route 30. So let's see if anything happens towards all walking routes today, all bus routes, all bus stops. Okay. All businesses I'm in, that includes the bathrooms and every place that I lock up my bike at. No matter where I'm at today, no matter what I'm doing, as well as Carl's Jr. And if the Wi-Fi service is not working at the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf, I'll have to go to the library. So that everywhere I lock up my bike today at, everywhere I go today at, that includes all walking routes, bus stops, bus routes, all businesses, no matter where I'm at within the business, bathrooms, checkout lanes, walking anywhere in the store. And that's another thing they're doing. When you're in the store, they'll intentionally cut you off as you're coming out of an aisle or while you're in it, and then blame you for it to try and suck you into an altercation. Or the manager will say, well, somebody's complaining about you, or they'll even accuse you of smoking in the bathroom when you're not. Do you really think I'm stupid enough to do something like that? Absolutely. Okay? I mean, in reference to absolutely, meaning that they will literally accuse you of things you're not doing. Because that's another thing. One of the main goals of gang stalking is to make you intentionally have to anticipate what they're going to do next. Okay? And your body and your mind is constantly reacting to it. What's going to happen today as a result of me going in here? Because they know that you know that they've staged events before at multiple different places. So you always have to be on mental guard, which wears you out and wears you down, which is part of the reason why they do it. Another reason why they do that is so to keep you constantly focused on the crime every day. What's going to happen to me today? What's going to happen next? What's going to happen now? So you can also go to YouTube and type in gang stalking bullying on steroids. You can also go to YouTube and type in stalking San Antonio. You can also go to YouTube and type in California teenagers caught on surveillance harassing neighbors. That's about gang stalking. It just doesn't say it. All right, fellow American citizens, this video applies. Let's also see if I'm arrested for illegal lodging, trespass, and encroachment. They made me homeless, okay, which is all over the internet to be an absolute method of this crime. Google that extensively, and you will see that's the truth. Okay, and then they track you to wooded areas and then try and claim that you're involved in these types of descriptions. So, let's see if anything happens towards me today. Anything. And also, let's see if I decide to come back to this area today. Okay, where that is, and there's a tree that looks like an octopus on this property where I'm at right now. I know that sounds silly, but it is what it is, and I'm using it as a landmark. If anybody's on this property, or if this is taken down by anybody, any type of workers, a property owner, or if any social deviants are up in here when I come back, if I come back here today, like homeless people, punks, criminals, social deviants, crazies, and those are the descriptions of some of the type of people they'll use. Absolutely. You would not believe what I endure every day. You just would not believe it. All right, my fellow American citizens, if you do what I stated for you to do, you will see that every syllable that came out of my mouth in this video is the absolute truth. You know, I already know SDPD is involved in this crime, and you can also research the name of other, law enforcement agencies here in California, including San Diego, including SDSD, and you will see truth. I literally got to go. This video was a lot longer than I wanted it to be, but it is what it is. All right, so say a prayer for my safety. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I don't sleep around. I don't steal. I don't hang around a soul. I mind my own business everywhere I go. This is me describing what I put up with. This is me describing techniques of gang stalking, so you can research what I state. I literally got to go. Thank you for listening, everybody, and have a good day, okay? Bye.